Okay, I see that Dr. Rogers has just joined us. So I believe if Ebony is ready, that we should be ready to go now. Do we have a thumbs up here? I'm awesome. Then on that note, the February 9th Board of Trustees meeting, if we could have roll call, please, Ebony.
Yeah.
Chair Wilson,
Here.
Vice Chair Wah,
Here.
Trustee Melendrez, Trustee Haran,
Here.
Trustee Raymaker,
Here.
Trustee Rogers,
Present.
Trustee Ortiz,
Here.
Trustee Whiteley,
Here.
Trustee Foyt.
Here.
And we do have a quorum, Chair.
Thank
Trustee
you.
Benavides is here as
Oh,
well.
I'm sorry, Trustee Benavides.
And if everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we are going to go into an executive session. The executive session, what is the thingy with that? I don't even know where it's on here somewhere at the end of the agenda. Oh, anyway, what's the exact wording, Jerry? I can never find it. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're just going into executive session. That's it. Okay, good. Then if I could ask everybody to step out, with the exception of, ask Bessie Ward to stay, please. And hopefully this will be quick. Assignment. Okay, sorry for that. It took longer than we expected. We are now back in regular session. We're going to change some orders on the agenda. Item 3, we're going, the agenda, we're going to remove. What is the item number? We're going to remove item 8B1 at this time. We're also going to move some order around. So what we're going to do is 8B1, we're going to remove from the agenda. And then we're going to proceed with the chair's report, public comment, and move forward from there as normal. Is that correct?
No, no, because you still would have to go back, because as it is now, you have to discuss it. You can't take it off of the agenda.
We can pull an item from the agenda.
Pull it. I thought you were saying like remove it. Okay.
Yeah, we're pulling it off the
Okay.
agenda. We're pulling 8B1 off the agenda completely.
No, you're saying delete it from the agenda?
Yeah, that's what we just talked about, is to take item 8B1 off the agenda.
No, because then it would still remain the way it is now.
Am I misunderstanding? What am I not getting?
Well, well, I guess we might as well get. Basis of this is the contract still exists in its form, nothing's changed. And the funds will be released as normal. Yeah,
Right, but we have to approve the agenda to make the statement.
he's going to discuss that in his report. We don't need to vote because there's nothing to vote on because it's going to continue as it is.
We could change the order and do the report first. Is that allowed, Jerry?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You ra-
so
would you rather
I don't
do
want
that
it
first?
removed from I don't want it deleted off the agenda until it's addressed.
Okay, I can, well, okay, so then what we're gonna do with the ordering of the agenda then is we're now gonna go to the chair's report. Then we'll move on to the agenda approval after that.
Well,
Correct.
Just amend the agenda, have the chair's report first, and then leave that on, then you can have the discussion.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, then that is what we are doing then. Okay. So
Move to approve the agenda with the.
that, we're
stated
not up
change.
to the agenda yet.
I
We have to
thought
do the
that's what-
report first, then we have to do the agenda.
No, that
Right.
is part of the,
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
approve the agenda.
Approve the agenda.
Okay.
If it needs to be if it needs to be deleted, you can delete it afterwards.
gotcha.
You
Okay,
approve the agenda.
thank you. Nate, please do that again.
Move to approve the agenda with the stated change, moving the chair's report first.
All in
Say
fa-
that again?
Move to approve the agenda with moving the chair's report first.
Perfect. Thank you.
all in fa-
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, great. Okay. Sorry for the confusion on that. Moving things around is confusing. Chair's report. First of all, February's Black History Month. And this year, February's Black History Month. This year, Director Watson was selected by Cox Communications as one of 4 Black History Month honorees for 2023. Kelvin will be profiled on Cox Channel 14 during their Main Street Living program for the week of February 13th through the 19th. I'd like to congratulate Director Watson for continuing to be a leader in the community. So first of all, I get that out of the way, that's the good news that we have on that. So nice work, Kelvin, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Now on to the rest of the chair's report. I want to provide some short background on the item for the public. The library district's long-term planning includes projects such as the pending construction of the new West Las Vegas Library, which will include finding ways to meet the needs of the growing community of diverse populations, creating more hands-on technology experiences at more of our libraries, and expanding our summer challenge and reading activity programs for children and adults. Most recently, we're focused on the development of special diversity collections to include a collection of Black writers and Black history books. As part of the fiscal responsibility that Executive Director Watson and I are charged with, we've been examining ways to increase the library district's revenue streams to meet the increasing demand for funding. These include grants, gifts, donations, book sale revenue, and any fundraising activity conducted by the library district or the foundation. At our November board meeting, Trustee Turner Whiteley raised questions regarding the foundation activities and the existing agreement between the foundation and the district. After the November meeting, Trustee Turner Whiteley asked Trustee Benavidez to meet with her. After the December board meeting, Foundation President Elaine Sanchez and Trustee Benavidez and Ortiz, who both serve as representatives on the foundation board, met with Director Watson and myself. The goal was to discuss duties and responsibilities of both parties pertaining to the library district foundation and how we could both cooperate together for the benefit of the district. Several concerns were presented, and it was requested Director Watson and I review the agreement and also to hold joint meetings between the foundation and the library district boards to clarify our mutual goal of enhancing the quality and range of services we can offer to local residents with the help of foundation funding. Following the meeting, I met with Vice Chair Waugh, Director Watson, and Council Welt to discuss the issues presented by Trustee Benavidez and President Sanchez. We then asked Board Counsel Jerry Welt to summarize the duties and responsibilities of our respective organizations. Council Welt produced a report which outlined a number of issues that needed clarification or action. One issue addressed by Council Welt was a change to, where is that? One of the issues was a change in Nevada law that Council Welt had expressed concern with at the time that needed to be reviewed on the bookstore being done in-house. While it was reviewed, it was a recommendation that we make sure we're meeting the fiduciary requirements of it. After discussion between myself and the director, we decided to temporarily hold that to make sure we weren't violating any laws and expecting to just address it right away in a joint meeting. We mistakenly, admittedly, the action was probably taken out of order and could have been handled better. We really did not think it was a big deal at the time since the foundation had plenty of resources. And this was just a temporary pause until we could form a committee to address these issues further. I subsequently requested that we be added to the foundation's January board meeting to share the contents of this report with the board. However, that agenda was full and they were not able to accommodate at the January 17th meeting. After discussing the report with Vice Chair and Council Welt, we were obligated to share it with the Board of Trustees in a timely manner. At the January 19th Board of Trustees meeting, Council Welt read the report prepared in consultation with outside counsel, Lori Thompson. The report served as a formal response to Trustee Turner Whiteley's original request. No action was taken, and it was scheduled to be agendized and discussed by the entire board at a later date. The report concluded there were several items the Board of Trustees must address. However, Trustees Benavidez contacted me requesting to hold any foundation discussion until February, since she'd had previously been excused absence for the January meeting. And admittedly, at the time, I forgot that you were not going to be here for January. So I did not think we would be waiting till February to get to this. One item the board did address was appointing Trustee Turner Whiteley to serve on the foundation, filling the remaining vacant spot. Due to an oversight at the time, the district failed to appoint a second trustee to serve on the foundation board as required when a previous board member's term ended in 2021. I'd like to clarify for the record, no official action has been taken by the board to act on any of board counsel's recommendations. No action should be taken until a special committee, known going forward as a working group, meets with the foundation and returns to this board with a report and recommendation on next steps. As a show of good faith, I'm recommending that we remove the item to stop, to withhold the bookstore funds from the foundation and disperse the funds to them and keep things moving as agreed in the bookstore agreement as it stands, pending the report of this committee working group between the two things. I believe that resolves it, addresses your question, Kelly. Trustee Benavides?
Yes, just clarification that it is retroactive from those funds held from December and January.
Yes. And I honestly, I do apologize. This was a legal recommendation that was shared and discussed between the vice chair, myself, and Director Watson. And we honestly did not think there was any issue on a temporary pause on the funds while we put together this joint committee to work together. So for any miscommunication that happened there, I'll just take the blame for that. And hopefully we can do a better job on this going forward. So in accordance with Article 6 of our bylaws and mutual agreement of both boards to have joint meetings, I'm appointing this working group to partner with the foundation to develop a cooperative plan moving forward. It's been shared with me that there is some tension from the foundation toward me. In order to foster a cooperative working environment, I've asked Vice Chair Wah to step in and chair the working group. The committee members will include Vice Chair Wah, Trustees Turner Whiteley and Benavides as our appointed representatives at the foundation, and also Trustee Rogers as he is the chair of the Finance and Audit Committee, and this will be dealing with finances between the two organizations. As chair, I'm automatically an ex officio member of all subcommittees. However, I will not participate in any subcommittee forming of recommendations or actions. I will serve in an ex officio capacity only, so the working group can independently work with the foundation to put that together. Resolving the matter is of the highest priority to the library district. The working group should meet with representatives selected by the foundation as soon as possible and provide a progress report back to the full Board of Trustees at our next regular meeting. I want to say thank you, and I look forward to continuing our relationship with the foundation. I would be happy to take any questions at this time. Hearing none, then that concludes my report. And where do we go on from here? Chair's report. That would be public comment. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment at this time?
Good evening. My name is Elaine Sanchez. I am the president of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District Foundation. I want to say to you, Chair Wilson, thank you very much for your comments. And I appreciate that we are going to have a working group. I look forward to that. And we will let you know who our appointees are as soon as possible. And we look forward to working with you because we understand the partnership is very important and we want to be there for you and for Kelvin and his staff. We are 1000% behind you and your vision, and we appreciate the time that you took to consider this matter. So thank you from the bottom of all of our heart, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for public comment at this time?
Hi, my name is Tim Wong. I live at 9116 Eagle Hills Drive in Las Vegas. I'm also a former Board of Trustee of the Clark County Library District from 1998 to 2010. I was the treasurer from 2003 to 2010. I was one of the people that were part of the formation of the Library District Foundation. And I have to say I was very disappointed to read some of the minutes and see some of the results of some of the meetings that have been held over the last couple of months. I'm glad to hear that you've taken this proactive step to step away, Chair Wilson, because I think you're part of the problem. And I'm hoping that this group can get together and find a solution to work together. The formation of the foundation was by the district. It was because there was significant issues with Friends of the Library who had had the responsibility of raising funds for the district before with no accountability, visibility, or transparency. When we formed, and Jerry was right there with me, when we formed the foundation, all of those pieces are in place. You have financials, you have audits, you have accountability for all the funds that are going into this organization. And most of all, every single dollar and dime is supposed to be spent in support of library district initiatives and special projects. So the mere thought that there is something nefarious going on here was very disconcerting to me as someone who helped to found the Library District Foundation and had spent 12 years of my life on the board as well. So I appreciate you stepping away from it and allowing this group to get together and make the right decisions to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else signed up for public comment? Okay, seeing none, I will close public comment. And we will go on to approval of the minutes.
Move to approve the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Let's see here. Then we go on to item 6, library reports. Director Watson.
Chair Wilson, trustees, I have submitted my report as written and will take any questions from my report.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Director, through you, the library report from Joanne Pravetti. And actually, the question is for you, not for Joanne. Thank you. This is by God.
Yeah, you're a little quiet. I don't know if maybe pull your mic a little closer.
I'm sorry,
There we go. Thank you.
my throat's drying on me. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for your patience. Mr. Chairman, through you, Director Watson, the question is for the Director of Development. I did attend the Governor's Ball with the Executive Director. I just need to know how much we spent because it was never reported to us how much was that cost.
Thank you for your question. This is Joanne Pravetti, Director of Development. For the record, we purchased a $5,000 table. And that was the lowest table amount that was available.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the only question I had for you. Thank you.
Sure, I have some follow-up questions.
Trustee Benavides?
So who attended? Because I know Felipe, the trustee Ortiz was one. Who else was it present?
It was myself, Executive Director Watson, Trustee Ortiz, Tony Gladney from MGM Resorts. We had 2 executives that I could send you their names from the Palms Resort. We had, I'll have to get you the name as well, an executive with the Review Journal. Wanda Blair is her name, Wanda Blair. We had Joe Dagner from Ballard Spar Law Firm. And then Boyd Gaming was Laura De La Cruz. And she was scheduled to attend, but there was a situation at Boyd Gaming that evening that prevented her from coming.
So in the past, when we've attended galas or, similar events, an email is sent out to the board and whatever board members want to attend, those are the number of seats that we buy. Why in this occasion do we buy a $5,000 table?
We bought this table to bring donors, to engage them with Library District Foundation programs, to get them engaged a little bit more in what we were doing at the library and fundraising. And we thought it was good public relations to be bringing donors with us to an event.
And the $5,000 came from what line item?
I will have to check with Floresto on that, but I have an events budget in the development department for us to attend events, and it came from the development budget event line item. I'm not sure exactly what line item it is, but it was in the development event line item budget.
Okay, and just to bring up one thing is when we go to galas, whether it's the Latin Chamber, the Urban Chamber, those are always fundraisers for them. They use them as scholarship fundraisers. This event was not tax deductible. So how do we justify attending
I can turn it over to to Floresto Cabayas, maybe to talk about the accounting aspect of it if you'd like.
Okay.
Loris Kobayas, CFO. As far as the question about tax deductibility, this was an event funded by the library district. So of course, we're not a nonprofit corporation where the benefits of attending this event would be tax deductible. Well, I'm sorry, Trustee Benavides, I think you're asking whether it's deductible by the district because the
No,
district paid
whether
for the
we're as a public entity, we're using funds to be able to pay for a for-profit organization.
Well, Director of Development Pravetti can answer this, but from our point of view, financially, this is a community event that would likely be the line item you see in the budget where the funds to pay for the event came from. And so it's my understanding that it's not a solicitation.
No, we're not soliciting on the library side.
But you just told me that that's why you invited these invited guests was to solicit
For the foundation
hopes of
programs.
soliciting funds in the future.
Right, on the foundation, for foundation programs. I don't solicit on behalf of the library. Any solicitation that I do are with organizations and foundations to support library district foundation programs.
Thank you.
Did that answer the question? Because the only other comment I was going to make was that the district frequently attends these type of community events. And as Joanne said, it's not for the purpose of solicitation, but to inform others of the programs, including foundation efforts. So I'm hoping that adds some more clarity. That helps.
I think nurture might be the word.
So the MGM has come on in the past and has donated funds to the foundation for our tutoring programs. The Palms Resorts have just opened up funding for 501c3s to apply for community programs, so we will be applying for that. The Las Vegas Review-Journal has offered in-kind advertising to the foundation that we've been using since November. Ballard Spahr Law Firm is a law firm. They have a philanthropic arm, and I will be submitting grant funding to them to help them help some of our program funding where there is some lack of funding. And Boyd Gaming just came on as a $5,000 donor for our tutoring programs. So every donor that's on here has, with the exception of Ballard Spahr, has donated to the foundation.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any
you.
other trustee? Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Any other trustees with questions for the reports? John Vino, I believe, has a presentation for us.
Evening, everyone. John Vino, General Services Director. As promised, we'd like to present to you a conceptual little movie that we put together when you approved the schematic design to design development of the new West Las Vegas Library. We just have a little clip. We'll preface it by saying you're just developing into the development design. So some of the colors and finishes and everything is what we're getting into, but we wanted to give you a feel for what this library was going to look like on the West Las Vegas. I have Mel Green and Emmanuel Aguirres here to talk about, and he'll walk us through. Again, it's general, but I think it's very helpful for you to see a 3D rendering of the library. So I'll hand it over to.
Good evening. My name is Mel Green, Principal at KME Architects. I have my partner Emmanuel Aguirres as well. Emmanuel, would you like to just speak on?
I'll just again say thanks for the opportunity, and hopefully this video goes a little bit better than it did at last meeting. So we'll just let the video go ahead and play as opposed to talking through it. And then if there's any elements that you guys have any questions of, or would like to go back and look at some certain views or specific elements, we're happy to answer any questions.
a shaded 14. Lighting space for congregate. Entering the grand lobby, so we have an opportunity to sit there, read a book, or just have a conversation. There's an entrance to the library property itself, as well as an entrance to the event center.
Gallery will be right in the center of the lobby. We'll develop the wall. We have a lot of. As I mentioned, part of this is just a placeholder. Just get your feel. Seating on the first floor. View out the windows. That would be pretty. Courtyard, you walk in from the back. Parking lot area, we're working on the shade canopy, but this would be an interactive programmable space where people can come out and sit. It has access from different rooms, story time, our creation labs. You can open it up for our event center, use it as pre-function areas. Not only that, if you look at the canopy, you can see some names of potential donors. Their names will be projected down on the page.
This is our outdoor center, event center, so we can have concerts, festivals, food trucks, classic car shows.
So just one we wanted to show you. We will continue to work on it, and we're, like I mentioned, we're getting into the, the hardcore design development. We were looking at the interior design and the actual colors, and we'll be getting into furniture and shelving layout, all the stuff that makes a library a library. But I think that gives you a really good idea of the identity that building could have in that neighborhood. I think it'll be impactful, as we all told, and I hope you.
Mr. Chair, I just have a question. I told everyone that I would ask as soon as I was able to. So with Downtown Reno Library has been getting a lot of press about their indoor jungle, all their planting. Is it too late to ask for a bunch of plants like that at West Las Vegas?
No, there's different areas. There's actually a loft area in the lobby that isn't open to the public, but we've actually talked about potentially, as we want this library to be very visual. As you move from area to area, we want that to be, very noticeable. So those type of attributes, I think, will be important.
I think this was a very handsome taste of what's to come. It's a magnificent looking building. And I know it'll be beautiful as it gets finished. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's great. Thank you for all your hard work. It's exciting. I can hardly wait.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very excited about it as well. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, just a quick comment. First of all, thank you very much. Great presentation. To my fellow trustees, thank you for believing in this project that started 5 years ago. It's been a lot of work to try to convince the community that they needed a new building. And to our friends in West Las Vegas, they knocked it out of the park. This is something that's going to be generational. going to be sustainable. And I'm very proud to say that these group of men and women have been very proud to build stuff and not owe any money. So I'm hoping that that occurs again. It's fantastic. I'm just gleaming with joy, ready to jump out of my seat. It's just a dream that I just wanted to have. We walked a lot of properties. Mr. Vina went with us. And not, again, they're just finding space in a community where its space is becoming limited. Great opportunity. Having said that, Mr. Chairman and Director, I'd like to see 2 agenda items, if possible, the next meeting. One, I think we saw a number of 31 million for this cost, so a budget item approving it formally. So there can be a public discussion as to we meet that checkoff list, that we had a public discussion that we're spending 31 million, I think it was. It could be more, it could be less, but, and secondly, these projects move very quickly. We have in place 2 other entities, the Las Vegas Qualic B and the Mesquite Qualic B. And that the second motion or second agenda item would be to approve the Las Vegas Qualic B to be the pass-through agency, so that when Mr. Vino goes out to go find money, that be done quickly. It doesn't have to come back to this board. And Mr. Foresto, did I say that correctly?
Correct.
Please step
We've
up.
started that process meeting with new market tax credits, and you're correct. We're a little ways down the road. We're not waiting yet.
Yeah, it's
That
so,
is in progress.
so when they go after new markets tax credit real quickly, that's money that comes from the government. They have a convoluted way to, from private people. It's a convoluted way to give us money, but we need an entity. That entity is the East Las Vegas Qualic B, which Floresto is the chair, I believe.
Floresto Caballas, CFO. For this particular project and a new markets tax credit program, we traditionally create a new Qualic B
Okay.
to represent the project. So
Okay, fair enough. If, let's do that quickly. And the reason, if you don't know, because if we ask another entity, the city of Las Vegas, they take $1 million right off the top to fund the program. So there's no reason to give them the $1 million. We can do it ourselves, since we've had the experience. So if you could put an agenda item to create whatever the West Las Vegas Qualic B to do the new market tax credit, I would really like to see that as quickly as possible, so we're not waiting. I know you have to create the documents, get approval from us, and then finalize it with the Secretary of State. Did I confuse everybody?
I will admit that I have never built a library before, so I have no idea what the actual process is. So I'm deferring to people who know way more than I do on this. So gentlemen, whatever the agenda items need to be to keep things moving fast. I'll give you some money for gas if it helps, but outside of that,
we are actively working to create the new Qualic B, which represents the West Las Vegas Library Project. And we're discussing this with our consultants and new markets attorneys, and we'll move through this as efficiently as possible. We'll likely need some guidance from, Council Welt in order to, get the proper approvals from this board and, our other partners.
is that something we can accomplish by March?
No, because March is 3 weeks, by April on the Qualic B.
I don't mean forming it. I mean getting the agenda item.
Oh, the
We get
agenda item, no,
everything we
exactly.
need For the agenda item in time for March. Is that clear enough? I
That's
honestly
a-
don't know.
That's a time-consuming process. Again, we're in the preliminary stages working with our consultants and.
No, we're not asking for the detail. We're just asking that this board approve that move forward. That we approve the creation of a West Las Vegas Qualic B.
Okay, and
That's
again, I
it.
would have to discuss that with Council Well to
Okay.
figure out the timing for how quickly that can move forward.
Okay, and
Well,
then,
I think he just wants to give you the authority to do it. I thought we had
Thank you.
done that, but I may be wrong.
nope, I'm looking at all the motions that nothing's
You
in.
did nothing. Okay. So all he wants is this board to say, yes, go ahead and do it, not get it done by then. So there shouldn't be any issue with
Thank you. And it's
Authority.
just public transparency. It's really
this
important.
complicated legal thing. That's why we had to bring in consultants. I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of pages and it's a mess.
That's all, just the
Okay.
authority to do it. Thank you.
Just to get the authority to continue on.
Very
Yeah,
well.
okay.
I will defer to trustee Ortiz's recommendation on that because I honestly do have no idea. So
We're going to save $1 million. We'll do it ourselves.
I believe you. I know you're as cheap as I am, so I'm sure that's accurate.
I echo that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And yeah, I only have one question. And do we have any budget for VR headsets so we could just make this library accessible to everybody in Nevada by mail? Because this thing's pretty
I'm
cool
sure we
looking.
do. We have a multimedia center that has two visual rooms.
I say that tongue in cheek, but that was a pretty cool video. So thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And okay, so from that, on that note, I'll accept the reports. We have no unfinished business. New business, the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent items.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item 8B1 has been removed from the agenda. And item 9, announcements, Finance and Audit Committee meeting will be held on Thursday, February 23rd, 2023, via Zoom at 3:30 PM. March board meeting will be held on March 9th, 5 PM at the West Las Vegas Library, soon to be replaced by that very pretty building. The April board meeting will be held Thursday, April 20th, 5 PM at the Clark County Library. March. In May will be held May 18th, 5 PM at the West Las Vegas Library.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
There was some discussion this evening suggested by Sandra Ramaker, excuse me, our representative from Mesquite, that we in fact have a meeting in Mesquite. Could one of these dates possibly be something where we do have our meeting?
To the director and the rest of the board, is that something that we can accommodate at a future meeting?
Felipe Ortiz, for the record, I'm not opposed to traveling to Mesquite. I just need a little bit of leeway, notice. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not either. So does that present a problem to any board members?
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea. I probably wouldn't be able to attend. I get off of work early enough to be able to attend this meeting in town, so I definitely wouldn't be able to travel.
We could probably push.
But I love
if we were gonna
Mesquite, by
move
the way.
locations, I mean, we have to vote to change the meeting locations because it was an item, so we can stick it on the next board meeting as an agenda item, because we can't just change it without a vote. We can change the time for that one meeting to make it easier to accommodate everybody's schedule. So if everybody would, please take a moment to email me date or time ideas that would work for you, and I'll try to put together a cross section of everybody's schedule and with Trustee Raymaker and figure out a meeting we can move out to there at a time that works for everyone, to the best I can do. So I'll give it my all. So, okay,
Mr. Chairman, I did have one comment.
absolutely.
It's a positive one. Chairman Wilson, thank you very much today for your leadership. Sometimes things are hard, but at the end of the day, this entity, the Las Vegas Clark County Library District, is going to move forward with the foundation and finding money. As you can see, the great things that are being built. Is my pitch. It costs money. We need your help. There's events that Joanne Privetti and the district and the foundation are going to be putting together. So whenever there's an opportunity, please call them up. There's opportunities for extracting money from your pockets, big money. Thank you again for your leadership so we can move forward on what we need to do with this district. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Are there any other announcements? Okay, do we have anybody signed up for public comment at this time?
No, we do not.
Great. Okay, seeing none, then this meeting is adjourned. Kelly, Felipe, if you two could hang out for a sec. Kelly, are you able to hang out for a minute?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you. Yes. Don't tell my wife. Hopefully, you can get a little